Hello! Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Tyler, and I'm gonna do a little bit of a reading vlog, but I realized when I did my wrap-up video, I did not talk about the books I bought this month, which ended up working out because on the last day of the month I went and bought a few more books. So I'm going to talk about the books I bought. So the first book I bought is an arthrogram. This is actually by a former professor of mine that I bought, and it is a computer-generated book that shows all of the possible configurations of comic panels up to 3x3. So there are actually like no words. I haven't gotten around to like flipping through it because it was actually much bigger than I had anticipated when I bought it. But I'm not sure if I'm going to count this on Goodreads or not, just because there is nothing really to read. But I haven't gotten around to deciding that or even really looking at it yet. Then yesterday I went to Books A Million just to... Originally I was going to film a vlog, but there really wasn't much to film. Anyways, I bought some books. I bought Detransition Baby, which I have been wanting to read forever, but the lines at the library are just crazy long, and I just haven't found a point to like fit it in, basically. So I've bought it. This was the last copy available, which was also kind of why I went ahead and grabbed it, because I was like, if I don't grab it now, I'm gonna never read this book probably. And it seemed very likely that I will like this book, so I bought it. Then I bought The Lost Village. As you can see, it was bargain priced, which was like the main factor in buying this book. I love hardcover books, and this has been sitting on my TBR for a while. I don't actually know if I will love it or not. I think it's kind of a low 3-star rating on Goodreads, but it's kind of like a spooky documentary filmmaker has been obsessed with the vanishing residents of an old mining town dubbed the Lost Village since she was a little girl. And it sounds like it's kind of like Blair Witch, but book form, which sounds pretty interesting. But yeah, the fact that it was bargain priced was the big factor. And then the last thing, Run. I think when I did my bookshelf put together video, I talked about I had the March series, and this is the newest series by John Lewis, Andrew Aiden, Elle Fury, and Nate Powell. It is The Wind Never Stops. It is a graphic novel series about John Lewis, and this is like, I don't actually know if it's also going to be a 3-part series, but it picks up basically after the March series. I think the inside is just absolutely amazing, incredible, love it. And I actually won this in a giveaway that my local library was having, so that ended up working out. I've been wanting to buy it, and I just hadn't yet. It was my March series is in paperback, so I was kind of waiting maybe for a paperback, but then I ended up winning a hardback, so it's all good. Anyways, I just wanted to touch on some books I bought. I don't really buy a lot of books, so I know when people do like whole hauls, it's lots and lots of books. That's not really my deal. That's just what I happen to buy in the month of February. Oh, and that doesn't even include the 2 ebooks I bought. I bought Forbidden, and I bought the The Good Book of Southern Baking as well. So I bought 2, 4, 6 books this month, which is a little high for me actually. So anyways, I thought I'd show you that. Let's get to reading. Hi, Max. I'm going to be reading Caste by Isabel Wilkerson. I wanted to read this in February, but I did not get around to it, so I'm going to start now. I have to say, this is taking, or it's starting somewhere I did not expect. So this opening chapter was about, I guess I could just read it. It is about a man believed to be August Landmesser, who is in a famous photo of Germans hailing Adolf Hitler, and he's not. And it talks about what it would take to be that person, to stand against a bad thing, basically. There's like a little bit of a quote here. We would like to believe that we have all taken the more difficult path of standing against injustice in defense of the outcast, and it keeps going. And so that's what this little intro was talking about. And then this, I haven't even gotten that far, but it's starting with the story of tundra ice melting in Siberia and releasing previously encased anthrax from the 1940s. I don't know, and just like the times we are currently living through right now with some of the things going on in the world, I just wasn't expecting this. I mean, I don't know where it's going, obviously, yet. It's just interesting that that's where this is starting currently. I don't know. I should have finished reading this friggin' paragraph and it would have told you kind of what I'm thinking. That anthrax, like the reactivation of human pathogens of hatred and tribalism in this evolving century, had never died. It lay in wait, sleeping, until extreme circumstances brought it to the surface and back to life. And that's kind of what I was feeling while reading it, just especially with what is going on currently. When I was reading the Reaganland book, one of my biggest notes was I kept writing time is a flat circle because there was things that happened. There was just stuff that felt so familiar and so similar to stuff that is currently happening, or had happened recently, that we're just repeating the same mistakes over and over, it feels like. So we're starting on a really strong note here. Do you want to go outside? Okay, so I finished the first real chapter of Caste, and it basically just goes into the election. I mean, a very high level overview of the election of Donald Trump, kind of what happened during his term. But she ties it back to, let me see, I'll quote it because it's a little bit easier that way. So she talks about a phenomenon called a silent earthquake, which are these very long and almost undetectable earthquakes that are happening before major earthquakes. And she says, only recently have circumstances forced us in this current era of human rupture to search for the unseen stirrings of the human heart to discover the origins of our discontent. So she gives us this overview of what happened in 2016 till 2020, basically, and then tells us that we are going to be looking at these hard to detect underpinnings that maybe the election isn't as unbelievable if we have all the facts and all the knowledge that is under the surface and harder to detect. And then she also ties it back to the anthrax emerging, about how they ended up having to vaccinate all the indigenous herders that hadn't had to get vaccinations in years because it had not been a problem. And just one little thing that stuck out to me, some pathogens could never be killed, only contained. So, you know, the pathogen that she's going to be talking about is racism. So I think that it was a really strong opening. I look forward to reading more of it. I really love the way she writes. So I look forward to reading more of this. I don't know if you would be interested in me doing more reading vlogs like this, maybe reading a chapter at a time and kind of talking about it with you. If that's something you're interested in, let me know. Well, bye.